We had a caller first segment, and of course we're milking that for all it's worth. And here's the deal: if you have a beneficiary that you don't like, that beneficiary has the potential to be a real keister killer. You know what I mean? To be somebody who's just makes it difficult for the sainted child that you picked as your trustee. Trustee has a lot of authority, a lot of power. But as I said before, great power, great responsibility. They have to answer to the trustee. Excuse me, the trustee has to answer to the beneficiaries. Why? Because they've got a lot of power. You want to make sure they're doing the job right. And so if you've got somebody, and this is very unusual, very rare, but it does happen, and you know who's going to be doing it, the beneficiary can put the trustee through the mill, questioning every statement, every bill, every expenditure. Yeah, 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 yeah. Okay, they can do that. So, how do you make it easier on the trustee? Well, here's what I come up with. And I haven't seen this anywhere else. So, you say, oh, that's just common sense. Yeah. I've never seen it in anybody else's estate plan. I've seen thousands of them. So maybe somebody else is out there doing it. And I just never saw it. Okay, fine. Possible. Plus, I've never heard any other attorney say, oh, yeah, that's how we do it. I've never heard that either. Okay. See, that's because we're so good looking out for you. Here's what you do. You got four kids. All right. One of them's the jerk. Four kids. One of them's the jerk. Well, of course, you never make the jerk the trustee. That would be insanity. Okay. But you want him to get something. And let's say you've got $400,000. That's what you got. You figure, well, when I die, 400,000, 100,000 to each kid. So what you can do is you say, divide equally, divide by four. Every kid gets 25% of what I got, including the jerk. Well, here's the thing. How do we know that it's really 400, right? What was the value of that house? How much did you spend on the funeral? Did you really need to buy a funeral lunch? Right? There were an awful lot of flowers there. I think your friend the florist was, colluding there or whatever. Dad never wanted a casket, and therefore charging $5,000 for a casket, that's wrong expense. Oh, and by the way, you rented the dumpster that emptied the house. La, 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 la. All these things that people can complain about. My last trial in probate court, which thank God was like 15 years ago, was a woman who moved the stuff she was complaining about into the dumpster. I am not kidding you. They're emptying the house, right? And she's like, oh, well, brother didn't account for dad's baseball picture poster or whatever the hell. And he didn't account for the stool or the Barca lounger. All right. She went on and on for like an hour. And the judge listened to all this, making the notes. Oh, yes. Direct testimony, blah, blah. And the first question on cross examination was, this was my question. I felt like Perry Mason. It was wonderful. I'm like, well, isn't it true that you put that in the dumpster? And the judge is like, what? Yeah, yeah, you put it in the dumpster yourself. So, but you can get there. That was the culmination of months of just hassle. So you can have beneficiaries, right, who put the trustee through the mill. Here's how you avoid it, like valuation issues. You say, well, my house is worth 400,000. Yeah, says who? Is there an appraisal on that? And it's never exactly 400,000. It's kind of about that, right? You're estimating, guesstimating. You're assuming that the market doesn't go up, the market doesn't go down. I've seen families fight. Oh, the market was, they agreed to sell the house to one of the kids for X amount of dollars, but now the market's gone crazy. And now it's like, oh, that's unfair that the kid gets it for the agreed upon price. Yeah, well, you said it was going to be that price, but that was before the market went nuts. That's before the thing doubled. Are you with me on this? Okay. So your trustee can have a difficult fight of it. And usually, who's going to give them the hard time, right? You don't want to forget them. You love them, right? You don't like them, but you love them, right? And you don't want to completely disinherit them. That's an ugly thing. Okay. So you want them to get something, but you also want to make it easy on the trustee, as easy as you can. It's not that hard. And when we get back, I'm going to tell you exactly how you do it. Remember, so here's the idea. You got 4 kids. You're guessing that the estate's worth around 400,000. You got a house maybe. Okay, and you figure it's going to be around 400,000. That's your guesstimate. Those are the facts, and I'll tell you exactly how we do it when we get back from the break.